I don't even know what to say. Stockholm is a beautiful city with tons of beautiful buildings, but I don't care about any of that, because I'm gonna show you the top 10 ugliest buildings in Stockholm. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna limit my selection to the inner parts of the city, because I'm not going to the outskirts. Bloody hell, there's a lot of ugly stuff there. Kulturhuset was built in the early 1970s, and it was supposed to be a cultural center in the heart of Stockholm. It's a big blob of glass and concrete right next to Sergels torg, the central square. It's not the ugliest building you're gonna see today by far, but due to its extremely central location, it earns a spot. By the way, it was actually used by Parliament up until 1983, when the Parliament building was being restructured. Now you know. This place is called Fältöversten in the eastern part of Stockholm. In the 1200s, all of this used to be parkland, and then for hundreds of years it was a rural area with cows and whatnot. In the 1600s, naval officers used to live here, and in the 1920s and 30s, more buildings were constructed. And then finally in 1973, a mall was built. And this is that lovely mall. It's not gonna win any beauty competitions, but it's not that bad either. I have uglier buildings coming right up. Behind me is Görans gymnasium, St. George's High School. It used to be a high school back in the 1960s. It was built in a brutalist architectural style, and nowadays it's been converted to student flats. Serve some right, bloody students. The building is actually classified as having high cultural value, so it can't be torn down. I don't really see why. Imagine going to high school in this place. Bloody hell. This is the Swedish Film Institute, built between 1968 and 1970 in a brutalistic architectural style. Wave to the joggers. The rows of windows are supposed to make it look like an old film reel or something. I don't really see it. It just looks a bit crap. Look at it, so dreary, just grey concrete all around. Bloody hell. 8 years ago I had to bike past this one on the way to work every morning. It's as ugly today as it was back then. What is this? Why is there a helmet here? I need to see if I can... No, it's stuck there. I have no idea what's going on here. This is the radio house. It's used by the Swedish National Radio, and it was built between 1958 and 1960. And it's not very pretty. The National Music and TV archives are located here, and everything was apparently built on an old military location. You can still see some military structures next to the building, and apparently there used to be a military cemetery here somewhere. So that's why we get such shitty radio, because this place is cursed by the ghosts of old soldiers. Ooh. Whoops. Well, shit happens. These two towers are called the Northern Towers. They were built between 2016 and 2018. They were actually nominated Building of the Year in Stockholm 2019. But then again, a local politician has said that they're ugly and box-shaped buildings that don't fit in with the surroundings. So I leave it to you to decide. Zlatan was rumored to have bought one of the apartments here. He denied those rumors. This used to be the Czechoslovakian embassy in Stockholm. And yes, for the young ones out there, those two countries used to be one country back in the olden days. Now it's apparently home to Acne Studios. What the hell kind of name is that? It was built in the early 1970s in a modern Eastern European style. And what an eyesore it is. Grey concrete all around. No, wait, there's brown brick as well. Ooh. Liljevalchs is a famous art gallery in Stockholm, but they ran out of space and decided that they had to build an extension. And they decided to build this one. It's a little bit unfair to include it, because it's not finished yet. It was started in 2017 and was supposed to be finished by spring 2020, but well, things got in the way. I might be mistaken, but I actually think it's supposed to look like this. This is the end product. Look at it. Bloody hell, what is that? What were they smoking? I mean, is it supposed to illustrate some contrast between beauty and the brutal realism or something? I have no idea. I don't even know what to say. Behind me you can see Stockholm City Hall. No, that's not the ugly building. If I turn this direction, you will see the atrocity called Stockholm Waterfront. This architectural insanity was built between 2008 and 2009, and it was criticized from the very beginning. Concerns were raised that it's not gonna fit in at all with the surroundings, not color-wise, not style-wise, not height-wise, but they built it anyway, because they needed a central place for conferences. I almost gave this one the top spot, but there's something else, something much worse coming right up. The number one spot goes to this building. Believe it or not, this used to be the architect house of the Royal Institute of Technology. Nowadays it's called A House and they rent out offices. It's still ugly as hell. And it's not just my opinion. This has officially been voted the ugliest building in Stockholm, primarily because of what they tore down to make this atrocity happen. Let's see if I can find a picture of the building that stood here before, well, that concrete blob. Well, the vines are pretty, but that's not really helping. Look at that. If you know of any uglier buildings, please tell me in the comments. Well, that's about it for today. Like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a great day.